My time coming, know it is, cause I didn't pray for it. I'm in a suit day and night, yeah, I done slaved for it. I never knew that if I rap, I could get paid for it. State to state, different cities with the gang touring. He ain't a beast, if he play, I had the gang storm him. It's on the love, if you my brother, we got the same story. Yeah, what you know about a kick, though? You wasn't with me, I was running.
Beautiful people, what's up, man? What's up? Welcome to the show. Welcome to Public Comment. It's your boy Smith, just hanging out here. You know what I'm saying? Just really trying to do it. Before we even start, I ain't got no guest today. Nope, there ain't no guest today. It's just me. You rocking with me solo. You know what I'm saying? Like when Mike left the Jacksons, you know what I'm saying? Or Paul left the Beatles, or you know what I'm saying? When KD left the Warriors, you know what I'm saying? When LeBron left Cleveland, you know what I'm saying? The first time. Yeah, you know, everybody got to go solo, man. See how they do. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. So I'm solo, right? Got kicked out the nest, doing it myself today. Going to get this ship to where it got to go, which is a good thing, kind of in a way, because again, want to create some level of consistency. I didn't just want to like not be here. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna get a guest. Don't trip. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna get some more bros on here. Some wonderful people doing the thing. You know what I'm saying? So welcome to the show, man. Hope everything is good, man. We under a massive heat warning here in California. It looks like the rest of the country is hot too. And if it ain't hot, it's raining. So it's raining and it's hot. I was just in Houston, man. Hey, man, look, you can't give me both. Give me one or the other. It can't be hot and sticky, you know what I'm saying, and muggy. Give me one or the other. Make it rain and keep it cool, or it's just hot. You know what I'm saying? Don't give me both, man. You know what I'm saying? I can't do both. Can't afford both. You know what I'm saying? But man, if y'all out there, just stay cool, drink some water, do what you do, just stay healthy. You know what I'm saying? Put that SPF on if you need it. You know what I'm saying? It all is what it is. But, you know, so you can find me before we get to what I got to talk to real quick. I ain't going to hold you because I don't want to bore you. And I know our attention span is getting shorter and shorter in this world. You know what I'm saying? Just going through social media, boy. If you can't say what you got to say in 20 seconds, someone's just swiping over you. You know what I'm saying? So I appreciate you hanging in there with me, because sometimes I get a little long-winded. So yeah, with all of that said, you can find me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, you know, doing a thing, trying to build a brand. You know what I'm saying? Just really just trying to spread my wings, so to speak. The book, I Fit the Description, is doing well. It's available on Amazon. Go check it out. I'm not a million copy seller yet, but again, that's not what it was intended for. If I get there, cool. I'm not stressing it, but it is selling pretty good. I'm getting good feedback on it from the people who have read it. So, you know, I'm humbled in that regard that someone's actually taking the time to, you know, make some space to take that in, and then just to get some feedback or even ask questions. So yeah, right on, go check that out. Again, the podcast is what it is. It's been going on for a minute now, so I'm very impressed with that. So yeah, you know, today without the guests, you know, I've been pondering like, okay, what am I going to do without a guest? So I really want to kind of just get back to the actual factuals of kind of why I did this, you know, the motivation, the positivity, and the education. And today is kind of like a crazy like combination, if you will, intersectionality, that word, about kind of my thing is political science. You know, I never thought that would be my thing, but it has been. You know, that's what I'm studying. That's what I have been studying, and just trying to find the meeting point, the meshing point of education and political science without forcing it down people's throat. You know what I'm saying? Because I think it's an unfortunate taboo that our society has created. Like, you know, we don't talk politics, we don't talk sex, and we don't talk about how much you get paid, which is really kind of, if you think about it, some of the reasons why we're so divided as humans, because we don't talk about these things. And then assumptions get made, and stereotypes are formed, and biases are created, and conditions are implemented. And then we just run this crazy race, living in our own asylum, so to speak, because what's mine is mine, and the way I think. And if you don't link it, you know, it is what it is. And before I get to all of that, you know, because, you know, when we start talking politics, you know, it's so easy to just be closed-minded and think, this is what I am. You know what I'm saying? And I can't listen to you. I mean, you just look at some of our leaders, and I'm not just talking about here in this stolen, occupied land. I'm talking about across the globe. It's so much of, as much as the ones that are allegedly democratic, it's still look at me, look at me, look at me. You know, and then the ones that are, if you want to say, you know, dictator, communist, authoritative, things of that nature, you know, it's still look at me, look at me, look at me, right? Um, and it's closed-minded to a certain extent, right? And so before I get into that, you know, I think the creating this new narrative of things can't be taboo, because that's the only way you will evolve is is through communication, through education, through exploration, through introduction, through learning, right? New ideas. Now, with that said, doesn't mean you have to agree. It just means just listen. Just listen. And the crazy part about that is it might be like you might be in a conversation with someone who you don't agree with on their foundation principles, but in a 35-minute, 45-minute conversation, you might hear one thing, you're like, man, that makes sense. You know what I'm saying? Not to say I'm going to take and run with it, but damn, it kind of makes sense. You know what I'm saying? So with all that said, like before I get into it, I gotta point this out because I like to be transparent. You know what I'm saying? And that way, there, like you ain't gonna come back and be like, oh yeah, Smith said this and so my little cousin, like damn near my brother. You know what I'm saying? Dude, he's been law enforcement 20 years, I think. You know what I'm saying? And it's done him well. He's provided for his family. You know, he set them up for longevity purposes, right? Generational wealth he's created. Love him for that. Love him to death. I don't agree with his law enforcement theory, and that's fine. Still love him. I'll tell you what. And this is where I fall off with Bible thumpers and people politics who just stand on one side, right? Me and my little brother may disagree on law enforcement, but I'll tell you what, you ain't about to run up on him and disrespect him or think you about to attack him if I'm standing there. That ain't gonna happen. I love him. Like we rock, like we get down, like we drink together, we hang out together, we talk, we fam. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? But so don't think you just about to run up on him and disrespect him because he's law enforcement and I'm not gonna sit there and do nothing. I'm sorry, that's just how it works. But you juxtapose that. And then that goes on to you can still love somebody, you can still appreciate what they do, you can still listen to them. Doesn't mean you have to take in everything that they do and be on the same page. You know what I'm saying? Me and him ain't never gonna have like no problems with that. That's just not how we rock. You know what I'm saying? And I think he feels the same way. Like you probably don't like how and it's cool. You know what I'm saying? But he got to do it. He a man. He a grown ass man. You know what I'm saying? So with that, like I know there's folks out there who are so hell bent, especially when it comes to religion. When it comes to the cult of religion, folks will turn their back on their family because that family member or those family members don't believe in their cult ideology. I just don't understand that. I don't understand that, you know, and it goes with politics. Like and I don't know this to be true for all parties of politics, but mostly Republicans. Like if you got like you third generation Republican and then you decide you splitting from the family, you might as well just cut yourself loose because you ain't getting nothing. You know what I'm saying? And I just don't understand that. I don't understand that, but that's where we are. Like if you ain't with me, you against me. We ain't never gonna get nowhere as a human race with this kind of thinking, man. You know what I'm saying? So with all of that said, I hope I was for full transparency trying to set up where I'm trying to go with that. And where I'm trying to go with that is where we are politically right now in this stolen occupied land is we're in a presidential election year. I know that bores a lot of people. And I hope I just kind of make it a little bit entertaining with just some of the thoughts that I have about that. So first and foremost, you know, it was crazy because now all of a sudden, you know, we thought we had two old white men out of touch with reality running, which was a farce. All I can think of is the Archies, like the Archies comic book. Every time I see them or hear them, that's what I think of, like high schoolers who, you know, have high testosterone, but lack common knowledge, like don't know shit from Shanghai. You know what I'm saying? That's what because they don't know. They literally don't have a clue. You know what I'm saying? And they both, in their idiotic ways, say the same thing without trying to appreciate the other one's point of view. You know what I'm saying? So what they'll do, instead of acting like they know, they'll just attack the other one and see how low they can degrade that person. You know what I'm saying? Like tit for tat. I can go lower than you. You know what I'm saying? Watch me make you look stupid. And then when they do that, they just start calling each other names. If that's not the most high schoolish cafeteria nonsense I've ever seen in a land that's supposed to be progressive, I don't know what is. You know what I'm saying? So we don't have that. You know, now what we have is a black woman campaigning and running against a white man. I'm sure the creators of the Constitution and the thieves of this country who put this all together never thought like, oh, they didn't plan for this one. They didn't foresee this one coming, right? Because there's a lot of innuendos and loopholes in the Constitution that they hope would prevent such hogwash. And so here we are. So here's my stance on everything. Don't just throw me low hanging fruit. Don't do that. Don't insult my intelligence. I like to think I'm a little bit more aware. I don't want to say knowledgeable, but aware of some things. You know what I'm saying? You know, don't look a gift horse in the face. You know what I'm saying? My mom used to tell me, you know what I'm saying? Believe half of what you see and none of what you hear. So with that, I want to take this stance on Mrs. Harris right quick. I call her that because that's her name. You know, I'm not with the titles. So Mrs. Harris, you know, so here's my I'm not a well, first of all, don't get lost by the blue. I'm not Democrat, I'm not Republican. You know, I do engage in politics, but I don't choose sides like that. I'm not set tripping. Yeah, I just happened to wear this button down today because it was looking really fly. With that said, I don't plan on voting for her. Don't plan on voting for Trump. You know what I'm saying? I'm a vote, but not for them to. You know, so here's my stance on Mrs. Harris. Is you know, she's done her work. She's put her work in. You know what I'm saying? She is the ancestors' dream, whether you want to believe that or not. You know what I'm saying? Well, now she's not even the ancestral dream. She's more than the ancestral dream because, like I said, going back to the creators of this Constitution, the Bill of Rights, and all of this stuff, and the thieves of this land who, you know, stole this. You know, women weren't accounted for. Women weren't involved in that process. So it's kind of like a triple whammy to these clowns, right? Because now you not only do you have a woman, now you have a black woman. You know what I'm saying? Well, let me say this: a multi-ethnic woman. You know what I'm saying? I know Madison and Hancock and, you know, all of these cats is rolling in their grave. You know what I'm saying? Like, what the hell is going on in 2020? Y'all couldn't amend some shit to prevent this, but here we are. So, you know, it's a good thing. But, you know, when Mrs. Harris she's put her work in, and when she got here locally in California, there were some things that a lot of people weren't happy about that she was doing, you know, and it is what it is. You know, that's the thing. I do admire that about it. Like, I'm gonna do my thing, whether y'all like it or not. You know what I'm saying? And she did it. The one thing I will speak on, because I push education so hard, and I do enjoy politics to a certain extent, is that, you know, she did do a controversial implementation when we start talking about chronic absenteeism, where she moved to, you know, criminalize parents whose students, you know, would be chronically absent from school. Now that is a problem, right? I think she walked some of those ideas back after she seen the impact. I think it was more harmful than it was helpful, and I think the revision of that is going to take some time to move it in the direction that she thought it was going to go. Because you can't criminalize parents for their students' non-participation. Because for me, it's not a singular issue. We're talking generations. And the real quick story is I had a conversation with a local superintendent, assistant superintendent, who told me that in like the late 90s, early 2000s, they had expelled over 300 black students. 300 black students. Okay. Those 300, some of them have students or have children now who are enrolled in their school that they got expelled from. Do you really think that they care about their students' attendance rate? What you've done to them. So we're talking generational baggage that has come, and it's like, you know what, go to school, but I'm not tripping if you're there all day. Because I mean, look with me. And I'm not saying all of them are like, I'm not saying, but I'm just saying there has to be a ratio in there. So when we start talking about chronic absenteeism, it's not singular. It's not a singular reason, and it's not across the board like it's for blacks, it's for Asians, it's for this, it's for that. No, it is multi-dimensional when we start talking about chronic absenteeism. Understand this. What I've learned is in the Mexican community, when you have our wonderful brothers that migrate from Mexico, Honduras, Costa Rica, all of these places, education is not first and foremost. It's taking care of the family, working, preserving the family business. You know what I'm saying? So you get someone that comes here and they're 12, 13, their parents probably aren't focused on education in this. Now, I'm not saying that's good for all. I'm not saying that. Some people do come here, and it's not just from South America or other across the globe come here for education opportunities, sure. But there's a lot that come here for work opportunities. So we got to take those in mind. It's not across the board one singular reason that chronic absenteeism exists, right? So, you know, I think she walked that one back, allowed the state to revisit it and do some different things. And hopefully, and I do see firsthand some of the work that's going in to address chronic absenteeism, right, across the board, but especially in the black community and in the brown community. So that's where I stand with that. Then my other thought with Mrs. Harris is I've always had a problem with DAs because they side with law enforcement. Now, I started this off. I've told you where I stand with law enforcement. I just can't do that, you know, and I think where I'm trying to go with reimagining law enforcement, she's going to go against that because she didn't get where she got right now on her own. You know what I'm saying? She had to get some support. And really, the only way you become the DA of any city in any place is to get the backing of law enforcement, the fire people. You know what I'm saying? That's how that works. And then the funding goes back and forth. They fund her, or, you know, that particular office, and then this office funds them. It's hand in hand. You know what I'm saying? So now you got to dance with the devil, like I like to say. Now, if she's dancing with the devil and she knows she's dancing with the devil, cool. But if she's dancing with the devil to empower the devil, then that's where I have to say, yeah, I'm you know what I'm saying? Now, again, some of y'all might get mad at me and say, well, how can you do that? How can you say that she's a black woman? Okay, I'm not saying that. I'm giving you my stance politically with the foundation. You just ain't gonna throw some person in my face and say, "Ooh, they look like you. Vote for them." Sorry, I'm not like that. We gotta be meshing. You know what I'm saying? So again, if she wins, outstanding. If she loses, you know, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? I don't really either way. I just want to point out how I see some things and some of the effects that I see, some of the historical knowledge that's present. You know, and then if I could just really quick, because I think this is so important that it is absolutely hysterical and hypocritical at the same time. So, you know, the orange dude went on a panel the other day with a bunch of black journalists. Clown show at best. Clown show at best. Here's a couple things I take away from that. Indulge me. One, you're dealing with a narcissist, an aged, old, white, male, property owning narcissist. It is about him, everything, every chance, everywhere. Look at me, whether I make a fool of myself or whether I'm doing my absolute best. All eyes on me. What Eazy-E say? Any advertisement is good advertisement. Give me all the publicity you want. I don't care if it's good or bad. I'm out there. You know what I'm saying? The orange man is a troll. He is a troll, like the number one perfect troll. I'm going to say whatever, I'm going to do whatever, and I'm going to get a response, good or bad or indifference. He knew that. He knew that going in. What's crazy about that is he could have not said nothing, and his base would have been in love with it. Like, oh my God, he's totally disrespecting those black people. Like, he's not even answering them. Or he could have did what he did and just been the absolute narcissist asshole that he was. And his base like, oh my God, look, he's just being a total buffoon. He's disrespecting him. He's winning. And then his opponents, his critics are looking at it like, oh my God, look at it. He's an absolute asshole. Funny how so much we are different, we're alike, right? So with that said, the thing I really want to pull out of that was, other than him just being who he is, the narcissist that he is he made a very good point. Hypocritical as it may be, he made a very good point. And that point was, at one time she's Indian, and now all of a sudden she turned black. That turned the internet and the world upside down, turned black. Let me extrapolate what I took from that. I did a presentation about 2-3 years ago about code switching, CODE, code switching, right? White folks don't know nothing about that because they've never had to. You know what I'm saying? Go check it out. I got it. It's online. It might be even on my YouTube. Go check it out. Code switching. Now, let's just take Mrs. Harris, for example. Black woman on appearance. When you are black. Now, look across MLB. My wife has this problem all the time. Look across MLB, and you'll see a lot of dark-skinned baseball players. If you don't hear them speak or you don't see their name, you would assume they're black. And they're going to get treated like the black person that they assume to be, that they appear to be, until you see their name or you hear them speak. Then you're like, they're not black. Or they are black, but there's something else there. Okay, so understand that part, that dynamic. So now, when you see Mrs. Harris stroll in, you don't know she's the VP. You don't know. You just, there's a black woman. Right. So, in turn, with that being said, now, when we talk about an iceberg, there's some things on top that are visual. There's some things bottom of that iceberg that you don't see, that you visually can't diagnose, that you can't make assumptions on because you don't see it. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of us black folks hypocritically from white folks by saying she turned. Well, no, that's not exactly true. When you have multiracial people who come from a variety of backgrounds and nationalities, unless you know for sure you see the skin, because that's the world we live in. Everything is visual. Look at TikTok. Look at social media is visual. We are judged on that appearance. So it's easy to say, oh, they're black. Or the great one is they're mixed. Okay, great. So now, Mrs. Harris goes to college, gets her degree, does what she does. Every black mixed person in this world knows this game. Now, you may not know it as a young person. Then again, you might. I did. There's a game you have to play. There's a game you have to play in order to win the game. Woo-hoo, woo-hoo. It's a game you got to play. It's called code switching. Now, before I became absolutely 100% comfortable with me, I had to play this game to fit in, to make that bread. You really think that AT&T was going to let Smith Dog from East Oakland in the house and become a project manager? Nah, bruh, that ain't how that works. I had to get in, fit in, and assimilate. Because that's how you move up. Now, whether you want to say it's real or not, and a lot of white folks who ain't experienced will probably say that's a bunch of BS. You know, you pull yourself up out of bootstraps and you just get there and get dirty and make it happen. Stop whining. Stop asking for handouts. I love those guys. I love talking to those people too. But yeah, I had no bootstraps. Dr. King said it. You know, it's easy to say that, but when you ain't got no boots and you ain't got no straps, well, so anyway, there's a game you got to play, right? Because now you gotta afford those boots and those bootstraps first and foremost. So I got to go play this game. I gotta leave Smith Dog at home or in East Oakland, and I got to come with Edward Russell Jr. You know what I'm saying? A lot of black folks have to play that game. A lot of Latinos have to play that game. A lot of Asians have to play that game. A lot of Hindus have to play that game. Check this out. Notice the pattern of names. You see folks who are non-white having children, naming them American names. Patrick, Philip, William. Now, I'm not judging that. I have no problem. I don't care what you call your kid. I'm just, because we are visual in what we're doing, you know, affirmative action, all of that. You put somebody's resume out there and it has your authentic name of your indigenous land, and depending upon who's in HR looking at it, might just, I ain't got time. That's a hard name to pronounce. Too many consonants, too many vowels. Am I being real? Okay, anyway, so we're playing this game, code switching, because you got to get there. You know what I'm saying? You got to get there. What they say, we got to enter into these spaces so I can have a seat at the table. That's why I suck at that, because I can't play that game, because I don't want to be at your table. I'm going to have my own table and they're going to come to me. That's my problem. Now, on the other hand, we do need folks like Mrs. Harris and all these other wonderful people code switching, playing this game to get to where they got to go. You know what I'm saying? So therein lies the hypocrisy in his statement. She turned black. No, dope. She didn't turn black. She's been black, but she had to play the game to get into the space that she was never going to allow. Because if she would have been real Kamala Harris from real Howard University, you think she would have ever became district attorney or vice president? And again, I know there's some non ethnic folks out there who, no, you get that on merit. You get that on your work ethic. Real talk. Come on, man. I'm just being 1,000. You know what I'm saying? So for him to go on there and say she turned black, in the white property male owning narcissist eyes, she did, because they are ignorant to the game that's being played in the survival world of this stolen land that we occupy right now. I don't care who you are. I know some wonderful people who are non-white who are still code switching, playing that game, because there's bills to be paid. They have a life to live. There's a comfort level involved. You know what I'm saying? Is it wrong? Hell no, it ain't wrong. You got to do what you got to do to survive. Real game, real spill. You know what I'm saying? But the irony and the hypocrisy is when the establishment, and when I say establishment, I'm talking about white property owning males, because white women were not allowed to participate as well. So they're not part of the establishment. There are some who think they are, but they're really not, you know? So with all of that being said, he was right. She had turned black, because now what I see, what I didn't see before all of this, I see a lot of swag from Mrs. Harris, the apostrophe la. Now we calling her la. See now, here's where the rubber meets the road. See, because this is what I hope happens. I hope that she does get elected president and Howard University law shows up in the Oval Office and around the globe to be the leader of the free world. Because if that code switching La Harris from Howard shows up, now we might see now we might get some real entertainment from the White House. We won't have to worry about the kids doing drugs and bringing drugs in the house and bringing prostitutes in and all of it, dealing with the Russians. We're going to have a whole different family union up in this piece. I'm just being real. You know what I'm saying? I'm just being real, because I didn't say it. The orange man said it. She turned black. She didn't turn back, but none of us have turned black. What we doing is playing the game. You know what I'm saying? Now, Real spill. I used to, but I can't. That's why I got fired. That's why I got time to do this, because I can't code switch. I got a problem with that. Look here. If I ever run for president, y'all gonna get Smith Dog from East Oakland. I promise you. I promise you that, because I can't be no other way. I am who I am. Ask anybody. My white folks, my brothers, my white folks who know me, who love me, who've been down with me for the longest time. They know me. They know me and they respect me because I keep it 1,000. I don't run off hating white folks. I don't run off calling them out of their name. I ain't got no animosity towards anybody. I just know I'm hella pro-black on mine. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I love about the folks that know me. I can sit here and scream pro-black all day long. They ain't judging me like, oh, Smith, you a racist. Man, I ain't no racist. Y'all see my mama. Y'all see my grandma. I'm not racist. You know what I'm saying? I just keep it 1,000. And I call it like I see it. That's what my mother used to say, call a spade a spade. So when I see those things, I had to point them out. And I thought this was a great time, since I didn't have nobody to come on and guest show with me. You know what I'm saying? Put they shared experience and they journey out there. I just thought I'd tap on that because I thought it was very, very, very profound that it went overlooked by a lot of people who call themselves political scientists, who call themselves watchers, who call themselves reporters and journalists. You know what I'm saying? Real spill is called code switching. It's called code switching, and it's a real thing. You know what I'm saying? Is it wrong? Hell no. Is it right? If it pays the bills, man, I'm with it. What they say, if you ain't cheating, you ain't trying. Okay, now. So that's my take on what's going on in the political arena at this point. I think it's absolutely hysterical to watch because there's so many different subtle nuances to it, to the game. You know, the game is the game, and you have to play it. You have to play the game. You know what I'm saying? You know, for all the folks out there who don't look or sound like me, whether you want to accept it or not, there's a game being played. There's a game being played. Now, I'm not going to no conspiracy theory about elites and this, that, and the third. I'm just saying there's a game to be played. And if you ain't never had to play that game, then you will never understand it. I hate to go back to the 80s, but it's a black thing. And now it's more even a black thing. It's a non-white thing at this point. And if we're going to keep it 1,000, some white folks got to play the game. Some white folks got to play the game. You know what I'm saying? I know some white brothers who love me to death. I know where they was raised. I know where they were. I know how they talk. I know how they rock. I could tell it in they walk. I could tell it before they even open their mouth. I know it before they open their mouth. They one of us. They one of us. You know what I'm saying? And it is what it is. I love it. You know what I'm saying? I love it. Hey, that's all I had today. But I had to get that out because it's so important, man. You know what I'm saying? I don't care who you vote for. I don't care. I ain't trying to tell you to vote. You know what I'm saying? I just want you to be abreast. No pun intended, Miss Harris. I just want you to be abreast of what's going on. You know what I'm saying? And then if you don't vote and then things don't go your way and they strip you of the right to vote, man, don't complain. It is what it is. It's a game. You know, it's all part of the game that we got to play. Hey, folks, you know where to find me. You know where to find me. Thank you for watching. Thank you. Hey, man. Hey, I think I had like over like 1,300 plays on my podcast. Man, I never thought of that. Now I know there's other folks who got millions. It's cool. I'm just saying 1,000 is a lot. 500 is a lot. You know what I'm saying? 100 is a lot. I think I've sold 30 books. Hey, if I get to 1,000 books sold, I'm doing something. You know what I'm saying? I'm doing something. Mama, look at your boy. Look at your boy. Who'd have thought? Who'd have thought the kid that got expelled from daycare on his first day would be an author and a podcast host who had over 1,000 plays. Man, the journey is crazy. The journey is crazy. Hey, folks, it's Public Comment. I'm your boy Smith. Catch me in another 2 weeks. Hopefully I got a guest for you. You know what I'm saying? But today, get that water in you. It's hot. Climate change is real. The polar ice caps are melting. Hey, look, only because I love giving Bible thumpers a hard time. I used to have to go to church. I was dragged to church. And every day or every Sunday, whatever, I've always, this is it. Here come the locusts. Here come the floods. Here comes AIDS. This is the end. This is the end. They predicted it. They predicted it. Hey, when is that? Because I've been hearing that for the longest. And what are we doing? Stop saying to my cats that are in position to deliver the word. Come up with a new strategy. Come up with a new slogan, man. Come up with a new slogan. We can't just keep saying this is it. This is it. This is it. We got to do something. Give us some positivity. Give us somebody saying, you know what? This is the beginning of something new. This is the refreshment. This is the revolution. We going into something new. Folks, it's your boy Schmidt. This is my show, Public Comment. Thank you for joining me. Check me next time. You know what I'm saying? Like I always say, have a conversation with somebody that don't look like you, that don't sound like you. And if you shut up and listen, you just might learn something. Till the next time, Black folks, you know I love you.
Shout out Bird. Hey. These people do not understand. I'm moving as fast as I can. Sending my prayers to God. He doing whatever he can.